In this video we want to talk about how to set up permanent chicken pasture fence and save money on supplies in the process. We'll go through the steps that we took to build this pasture and highlight the details as to what we did, the little steps we did to save money and to keep from having a ton of cash in this. Our pasture is set up, we have two different pastures and they're roughly about 5,000 square feet. It's 50 feet by 100 feet and the other one's 100 feet and it chokes down at the end a little bit, so it's about 40 feet on the other end. So roughly about 10,000 square feet of pasture that we have. So we'll jump right into that. Well, the first thing you may ask is, why permanent pasture fence? Why not temporary fence, poultry netting that you move around with a eggmobile like you see everybody doing, like Joel Salatin does? There's so many people that have movable eggmobiles. Well, it's quite simple. I believe I would definitely try the mobile eggmobile if I had the space. Now, obviously, I don't have a lot of pasture available right now, and what I do have, of course, is on a hillside or is different benches that I have to get to. So driving an eggmobile up the side of the mountain, those type of things, just not an option for me. And of course, we still have issues with predators that I think even the poultry netting is not going to resolve. And you also wonder, okay, well, if you're not using the mobile chicken coop, why aren't you free ranging? Well, free ranging, of course, talked about in one of our very first episodes, that free ranging just didn't work out for us simply because of the predator pressure between the fox and the coyote and the raccoons. And quite simply, the chickens really didn't know what was home. When we free ranged, while we still had a coop, still had a place for them to stay and had them introduced to that area, they would, as the days wore on, as they got more comfortable free ranging, then they ranged further and further out. So they'd be in the barn, they'd be on my tractor, they'd be on our hose reel, they'd be on our driveway, they'd be on our front porch. So that didn't work out too well. So what do we do? Well, what we did is we marked off this area. This is a flat pasture near the front of the property. So we wanted roughly about 10,000 square feet. So what do? So we have a mixture of wire. Probably the best way to save money on this, of course, is looking at the wire. Now, if you're still going to do a 50 by 100 paddock pasture, then of course you're still going to need a lot of wire. We needed 300 linear feet of wire, of course, to do one of the pastures. So how did we lay this out? Well, you can see behind me here, we started with our corners. We started with the corner posts, and I went ahead and set, even though this isn't high tensile, it doesn't have a lot of tension on it, went ahead and set corner posts with some bracing, some just basic stuff there. And on the bottom I used the 4x2 welded wire. So this is the biggest expense here. So the welded wire, of course, along the bottom helps keep the fox and all those daytime predators from coming through. But then we wanted the extra height here to obviously discourage the chickens from roosting up on top or from flying over. So what we did is we just took 2 feet of the chicken wire and we just put it higher on the on top of the welded. So what that gave us, I'm 6 feet tall. I'm 6'2" actually. So this is right at 6 feet. Obviously 4 foot, 2 foot makes sense. Well, the way we suspended that, instead of investing a lot of money and the expensive T-posts, we did a little hack here. So what's the hack? Well, the hack is obviously we've got the 4-foot wire here, we've got the 2-foot chicken wire on top, and I didn't want to invest the money in the super tall fence posts, the T-posts. These are the 6-foot T-posts. You can get the 8-footers, and it gets pretty expensive. These are expensive enough as it is. So what I did is, utilizing electric wire, the 17 gauge, I think it's 17 or 18 gauge electric wire that I have for the electric fence for the pigs. Obviously you use what you got, and a tensioner. I strung this wire from the top of my post. So each of my corner posts are taller. They're 7 feet high. And you can see I've come down every so often and I've just wired, using just wire, wired a scrap stick to the T-post and cut a little notch in top of the stick here and run the wire through that. So I do that just like every other post. I did it on this side. And then what I could do is either lace it through, or I just took some extra wire and made it almost like, made little loops. It's almost kind of like a shower curtain. Imagine a shower curtain with its rings. That's how this works. And then the tensioner, of course I turn the tensioner to get it tight. And that keeps this wire, keeps it taut, but not too taut where the chickens can fly up, want to roost on. They get up and this is all loose and they just kind of hang back down. And then the last thing I did is I just came back with small pieces of wire and just tied these together. There again, just keeping the chickens from going up and just dropping down through this like a slot. So about every 3 feet, I've got a little wire twist there, tying those together. So what's the real benefit of this? Well, again, welded wire, super expensive. Bought a 300-foot roll. I don't remember exactly how much I paid for it, but it was a lot of money. 2-foot, 1-inch chicken wire, a lot less expensive for 300 feet. So that kept me from having to double this up. Why did I want 6 feet? Well, again, to keep the chickens from going over. But the other thing I discovered too is the raccoons would just crawl right over this. This was had enough strength to it, had enough rigidity to it, that a raccoon would just go over it. So I wanted to make it discouraging for them to get over. Now you may think, well, a raccoon could go under. Sure enough. And when we were having issues with the raccoons going under, then I put a single strand of electric across the bottom. So there's a lot of effort in this coop, or in this pasture, to keep the raccoons out. And so that's our first line of defense. And then our second line of defense is the chicken coop itself, which we'll get into that in another video. But this was a way that we can still have a 6-foot fence all the way around. Almost looks like a prison camp. 6-foot fence all the way around, and not have as much money tied up between doubling up the woven wire or actually buying 6-foot woven. My goodness, I couldn't imagine what buying 6-foot welded would be expense-wise. And then of course we still had gates tied in. So as you can see, as we go around to our corners, even our gate, our people gate here, there's our termination post, and then it's got a little 3-foot gate. But I just tied that post into the coop. That way I could get a lot of tension. When you tighten that tensioner for that wire across the top, then obviously that's going to pull everything. So that helped me secure that. Over there, that's my gate, so I can get my tractor in the other pasture. But then over here, same thing. I've got corners. And again, whether I use some landscaping timbers that I had, or just cut some wood just to make those support braces, that worked pretty well. And you can see down through here. Now some of these sticks, in fact one down here near the end, about right there, some dummy with a tractor bucket swung around too hard and clipped one of the sticks off, so that has to be repaired. But like I said, this is a very inexpensive way to get a taller fence and have some better protection there. And of course you can see here's the other pasture right now. So this is the smaller of the two, but it has the same. It's got the fence going all the way around it with the higher support sticks. So it works pretty well. So as you can see, that provides a good barrier there for predators, and obviously keeps the chickens in. I don't have any chickens flying over. I don't have to clip wings. I don't have to do anything like that. So I don't have that issue in play. And of course also keep the predator pressure down, so I don't have to worry about raccoons and coyotes and fox coming in. Raccoons still, obviously, every once in a while get a little bit of an issue, but coyote and fox definitely are kept at bay. They can't get through here. Well, we wanted to announce that we've got a lot of good feedback from everybody in the comments. We appreciate that. And I've been asking about video length, if you like it longer, like it shorter, those type of things. And it's kind of got 50-50. So what we've decided to do is we're going to create some additional videos that will be released throughout the week. And they'll be shorter in nature. We called them Tool House Tips. We'll do some other things with that and publish those. So you'll see those throughout the mid part of the week. Maybe do one extra one a week. We'll just see how that goes and see how people respond. Well, of course, we'll still keep doing our full feature video at the end of the week on Fridays. Well, we hope you appreciate this information, and take this time to remind you to go to our website, redtoolhouse.com, and sign up for our email newsletter. And this month's drawing, we're giving away one of our Red Tool House hats. So be sure to sign up for that, and you'll automatically be entered. And again, we won't blow you up. We'll just let you know what's going on here on the farm. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and if you haven't, please subscribe. Again, that's just encouragement for us to keep going, and of course it gives you notifications when a new video comes out. Be sure to check us out on Facebook as well, facebook.com/Red Tool House Farm. Take care.